Welcome back. This is the last segment in this growth strategy tool. In this segment, I'm going to walk you through a template which will give you complete roadmap of your growth strategy. Because in each and every stage, for you to accomplish your growth, you need to have the functions in place. And if functions are missing, what you need to do? But how do you identify whether your functions are missing and where you have to focus? So you will have lots of clarity when you fill this template. This is 10-page template. Take your time and fill. And some of the questions in the template, if you are not able to fill, if you are not having the right answer, even though you are practicing for let's say 5 or 10 years, then this template, this tool is going to give you what elements were missing in your practice, and that is the reason you are not able to grow. So let's jump into the session and see what is growth template. So the last aspect is growth strategy template. Below this video, there is a downloadable PDF format. Download that format, take a printout, and if you need any additional sheets, you can add. But ensure you are filling this template. This is going to give you lots of insights, and it will give you the exact position you are in right now, and that will give you clarity of where you have to focus in order to grow. So let's see the template. So this is the template that you will be downloading, the growth strategy template. And this is a tool where you will understand whether your dependency factor of your practice is there or not, if it is missing, if it is consistent. Let's say marketing or operations or sales, where you generate revenue. Is it entirely dependent on you? Is it consistent, where you are able to consistently generate revenue? If yes, fine. If no, why? Why it is inconsistent? Clinical, do you have records of your patients? So if there is dependency, are you collecting all the data by yourself? Then it is entirely dependent on you. And if you are focusing on collecting data and all those activities, at that time, who is treating the patient? So there is inconsistency. If you are able to understand that, you will have clarity that where you are spending your focus, where you are spending your energy, instead of spending in the right way. So fill each and everything. Management focuses to grow your practice strategically. So are you having that management approach? If no, is your growth consistent? If no, is the result consistent? If it is no for all, then it means you have to focus in each and every step that has been covered in this entire courses to make your practice grow. So this will give you clearer picture of how efficient, how well is your practice generating the result that you want, because the result that you generate will determine your growth. The next aspect is I'll be walking you through set of 25 questions. Each and every question is going to focus on various functions in your practice which is needed for you to grow your practice. For example, now, how long are you practicing? How well you are performing now in your practice in terms of number of patients and revenue every month? In the last 1 year, how many new patients you have added to your practice? In the last 1 year, how many patients you had? And Now, when you are able to fill these four data, if you are struggling to get data, then it means you are not maintaining the record, the basic record of how many numbers. It is not the tentative number that you have to put, but you have to have some number. If you don't have that number, which is the very basic data that you need for your practice, if this is missing, then this is the time for you to focus on all these areas to fill the gap. When you fill the gap, you will see the result. Next, when it comes to, because if you want to bring more patients, if you want to come out of the stagnation and you have consistency in patient flow, the marketing is what is going to help you. So are you doing marketing activities, and what are the marketing activities that you are doing right now? What is your strategy to add more patients? Do you have a plan of the way you will be bringing more patients? Do you have a website? If yes, write the domain name. Is it active? Because mere having website is not going to solve the problem. It has to be active, and are you adding content? So these are all the ways where you are doing your marketing consistently. If it is not, it is shown. You have the picture in front of you. You have the data in front of you which shows the facts. Facts are telling where you are. You may think you are growing. You may think you are in success stage. You may think you are in stability stage. Facts tell. Facts give you the real time picture of your practice. This is for you. This is the strategic template for you to grow. Fill this data, fill this template, you will have enormous insight and clarity. For marketing, again, you have to continue. Are you present on social media platforms? If yes, mention. Are you actively using? It's not only being present, but are you actively using it for branding and marketing activities? Fill it. Do you have team? If yes, mention. If no, why? Even if you're having one person working for you, mention that. And why, if you're practicing for over 10 or 12 years in your clinic, then how many people you would have had, right? What are the parameters? Because when I'm talking about building a team, and if you don't have any parameters for hiring your and building your team, then you're not serious in growing your practice. Each and every work that you do, when you have the process, when you have the clarity in what all the expectation that you have from people whom you are hiring, that will show how serious you are in implementing things in growing your practice. Is there a process to work in your practice management, like collecting data, patient's record, how you treat? Have you set a process? If yes, explain. If no, when are you going to implement process? Because only when you create the processes, you'll be create the system. What are the activities that you do for retaining your existing patients? This is for operations. What are the value addition that you offer to your patient satisfaction? What are the things that you do to add value? Let's say if you are a pediatrician, if you have kids play area, that is adding value. If you are already doing it, list what are all the things that you do, and what are the things that you can add, you will have clarity. And if you have done the patient journey map in the first course, then that will give more insight on what are the values that you can add. Do you collect your patient data? If yes, what are the data that you collect? If no, why you are not able to collect the data, or why you are not collecting the data? Do you maintain patient's health record properly, and is it accessible every time, or you search for records? That means you will be firefighting. You will keep somewhere, or your staffs keep somewhere. When you ask for it, they go and search. That is waste of time for you, because there is no process in keeping the data properly. That will give you insight of where you can save your time. What is the number of people working for you? How supportive is your team in your practice growth? Is your team being trained on timely basis in alignment with your practice? If not, why? How are you helping them to achieve their career growth? Because it is not only about you and your practice, it is also about them. Even they have to grow in their career. Every human being has the expectation of they raising their status bar. They raising in their, it's not only raising in terms of salary, but raising in terms of personal growth, in terms of their career growth, right? How are you helping them? Do you have the process of hiring the right? Explain the process. Do you have the process for firing the wrong? Because if you have an incompetent staff, you should be in a position to fire. Are you doing it? Are you filling your monthly and yearly returns on time? If yes, well and good. If no, mention why. Are you maintaining financial records of your practice? And is it accessible in convenient manner, or you search for data? Explain. The last question. At the end of this template, what is your conclusion on this template? Where do you stand? And what did you realize after filling these details? And if at all you have seen any missing element, you saw some problems in the data that you have collected, what is your action plan to ensure you are fixing those missing elements, filling those gaps, and the plan to overcome the issues or problems that you have? When you have clarity in this, your growth is just matter of implementation and matter of days. So this is growth strategy template for you, doctor. In the comment section, write what is your takeaway from this session. And when I was walking you through this template, what did you feel? What did you how did you what was going on in your mind when I was walking you through the template? And what is your learning from this session? And what is your learning from understanding the growth process and the growth strategy? Write that, and once you fill this template, whatever is the gap that you foresee, take the action step, implement things that you have learned, and start growing your practice. I wish you all the best in your growth journey. Thank you, doctor. See you.